shots across the crawl space. Things that for the most part look pretty decent down there. They have had a previous fungus issue down there, so they've done quite a bit of repair work to the floor joists and beam sections. That all appears to be done professionally. And there is some water that you'll see some photos of along the back foundation wall, rear foundation wall. There's also a sump pump that you'll see a photo of as well in these photos. So again, just shot across the cross. As you can see the old fungus. There's no insulation from the floor joist now. They've taken all that out of there. So you may want to consider just sealing up the foundation vents and leaving it as it is instead of going through this expense of putting insulation back in there. That may just cause the same problem again. Some of the X-wood bracing that's between the floor joists is not connected to the bottom of the floor joist, and it's been that way since the house was built, so not the end of the world or anything. There is still some cast iron drain lines. You can see this cast iron drain line goes up between two floor joists, and both those floor joists have been notched or cut. They have replaced one floor joist here on this side, but they really haven't done anything on this side, so maybe a good idea to support that section here that's been excessively notched a little bit as well. Here's some of your water entry at the rear of the cross. So this is where the water goes out of the foundation wall for the main drain line. So it's coming in there and spreading out to the left and right on the back. So it's over here.
Right side of the sunroom. Okay.
This is some of the fungus that you see down in the crawl space. And you see a new beam section here in the background as well. Again, cast iron drain line, cast iron drain line. Shot across the crawl space. There's your sump pump, and that's in the right rear corner of the crawl space. And you see a white pipe sticking out of the foundation wall at the right side of the house, and that's what that is. And just some, again, just fungus you're seeing.
So that was treated or not treated?
Well, they've taken the insulation out, which is going to allow it to air the flow better. So, but they haven't done a treatment as far as I can see. I can't really tell for sure though. More water. This is some of the water that's collecting along the rear foundation wall. This is at the right side of the house. There's either a drain line issue or a septic issue. So there's a little trail here that has water standing in it, and then there's a clean out over here that water was bubbling up out of after I'd run everything inside the house, and some things had backed up inside the house. So there's an issue there that needs to be looked at. One of the issues that I ran across when I was running water in the house was that the drain for the clothes washer did not drain properly, so it backed up into the garage. Just some grout work that needs to be done on walls and floors in the bathrooms, so in that note, also in the shower. Some corrosion on the faucet fixture. This is in the primary bathroom. The primary bathroom door binds in the frame. There's been a little bit of settlement on that door frame. Toilet in that primary bathroom is also loose, so maybe about securing that to the floor. Drain stop hardware missing in the sink there in the primary as well. One of the closet doors is off track in the primary bedroom, so maybe about repair of that. There was two receptacles. Actually, I need to check on this to confirm, but they may just be worn out a bit. So when I stuck my tester in there, it gave me an open ground reading. But I'm going to go back in there and try it again and wiggle my tester around a little bit more, see if I can get a good reading on that. So they may just be worn. So all the rest of the three-prong receptacles throughout the house were grounded, so I don't see why these wouldn't be. The bathroom vent fan in the hall bathroom was very noisy during operation. And the diverter for the tub in the hall bathroom was stuck in the shower position. So the only thing you can get water out of is the shower head. So it was going to take like an hour to fill up this tub via the shower head. So I just made note about not testing that. I did turn the button on to make sure the motor ran, but I wasn't actually able to run any water through that Whirlpool tub there. So that's stuck in the up position, so you can't push it down. And water standing in the sink after that. Several windows. Basically, all the windows in the house have failed thermal seals. Most of them have sash springs that are disconnected. The sashes won't stay up when you unlock the window or when you open the window or unlock the window. So made those notes. You also have several of the finger grabs, the handles that you grab a hold of to lift up the lower sash. A lot of those are broken off or missing, so I made those notes as well. So this is below the kitchen sink, And you can see this is a non-standard drain line configuration here. It really should be a smooth wall pipe, so this can be easily corrected.
Side also leaking?
Yes, later.
Okay.
No anti-tip bracket on the range unit. The microwave was difficult to operate. I wasn't able to, well, I finally got it to run, but I put a minute in there, then I hit start, and nothing happened. I hit start again, nothing was happening. And finally I pushed on the door really hard to make sure it was completely engaged, and I was able to actually get it started. So I think it may be something with a switch in the door when it's closed is starting to wear out or something, so I made that note as well. And then there's a leak at the faucet fixture. So on the hose that's inside there, it's actually leaking down into the cabinet below, so made that note. There's one receptacle at the front wall of the kitchen over here next to the refrigerator, and there's no power on this one. The refrigerator is plugged into this one, there's power on this one. So it's easy enough just to take that out of there, put a blank cover over that. So this is another door that was binding on the frame, and this is the pantry door in the kitchen. It's an older garage door setup, so they have these springs that counterbalance the weight of the garage door. And ideally there would be some safety cables that run through those springs, so that if one of those springs was to break and give way, it doesn't slam across the garage and smack somebody in the head or dent your car. So I just made that note as a safety upgrade there. In the attic space, the screen material and the gable vents at the left and right sides of the house is deteriorated, so it's made about replacement of that material. So just some shots across the attic space as I was up there. There's the gable vent screen material there. And there's a couple of insulation jackets on the ductwork in the attic space that had some damage on it. So this is above the rear, the primary bedroom. And this is above the bathroom area here. Newer air handlers is 2021 manufacture date on this. It's working with a unit outside that is 2010. So it's a American Standard on the outside, Train on the inside, which is the same company, so they should be compatible. This is just showing a float mechanism in the pan of the unit there. There's several open circuit wires or open circuit wire connections. So you can see in this picture two things. One is an open circuit wire and one is an open circuit wire connection. So made that note. And then back here is an open circuit wire as well. These are all above the garage area or kitchen area. And just some stains, older stains around the chimney structure. They don't appear to be actively wet at this point. The garage door was struck outside, so there's some dented panels outside. It also broke a hinge at the center of the vehicle garage door, so there's been about repair of that as needed. The unit did function, so I was able to get it up and get it down without any problem. Main water shutoff is in the garage, right next to your pressure tank. Water heater unit, 2009 manufacture date on the water heater unit. It's 50 gallons, so it's at the end of its typical service life, so I made note about that. So a couple things going on inside the electric service panel. The first electric service panel is what's known as a split panel. So there's breakers here at the top that you have to shut off, and that shuts all the power off to the house. Whereas more modern systems just have a single breaker that you shut all the power off to the house out. So this is just an older style panel. But what the picture here is showing is actually this breaker right here is not seated properly on the bus bar. So actually when I was putting the panel cover back on, this thing actually came loose. So I had to try to stick it back in there. I couldn't get back in there completely. So I just made note about it. So that needs to be addressed. And then there's no panel labeling. It tells you where all these breakers go to. And then some missing hardware at the top here, missing wire clamp, and then a damaged wire clamp at the bottom. Also, there was missing fasteners on the service panel cover. So 1, 2, 3, 4 fasteners were missing on the service panel cover. So I made that note as well. Just some crack that's been filled in previously on the front porch. Roof looks good. Roof is probably 5 to 8 years old or so. It's a 3-tab shingle roof, so you can get about 15 to 20 years out of it, so not quite midlife yet. So things look pretty good up there, no real issues. There was some issues with the crown. So this is actually roof-to-wall contact, so there's like a shed roof at the left side of the house. So the flashing at roof-to-wall contact there needs to be resealed, so I'll make that note. The crowns on the chimney structures need to be maintained, so you can see the cracks that are on that. Also the main chimney structure there. So just some work needs to be done there. This is your well head at the front yard of the house there. Here's your shed roof I was telling you about at the left side of the house. There's a loose receptacle at the rear wall of the house or garage. And let's see. This is the refrigerant line that's between the house and the heat pump unit outside. And the insulation is just deteriorated on that, so I made that note as well. Your outside unit, data tag 2010. It does have the newer refrigerant, the 410A in it, so you can ride this till it dies. There's some moisture damage on some of the fascia. So this is at the corner of the covered porch back here at the rear of the house. I made this note as well. So there's a seam between the vinyl and the brick that needs to be either flashed or sealed. So I just made it about sealing it. Just to limit risk of any water getting down in there. Again, moisture damage. This is the sunroom over here, and this is the rear of the house behind the primary bathroom, or hall bathroom, I should say. So some cracks on the walls above windows and below windows on the right side of the house. A reverse wire on the receptacle at the front porch. Again, open seam on bricks above the garage door. Some moisture damage on the left and right sides of the garage door. Loose trim at the garage door. Just some openings on the bricks on the pad on the front porch, so areas can be repointed. Moisture damage. This is the right corner of the front porch, so soffit and fascia here, and the left corner fascia and soffit here. Loose trim there, yeah. And cracks in the driveway, typical type stuff there. So that's what we got.